because he always was that active and defending.
I think it's like
people deluded. I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Let's see what the latest news, views, rumours, and talking points concerning our football club Arsenal are saying. As you can see in front of me, allegedly, Arsenal are ready to start contract talks with captain Martin Odegaard as they bid to secure the futures of core players who led their title charge. Really do like the proactive approach we're taking to committing players to new contracts. The Ramsdales of this world, the Odegaards, hopefully Saliba, Martinelli, Saka, etc., etc. Bukayo Saka and Ramsdale are expected to finalize lucrative new long-term deals this month, and Arsenal are also in negotiations to tie down Saliba. So the four names you see there in Odegaard, Ramsdale, Saka, and Saliba, like in any walk of life, if you're in a job and you're performing well and you're definitely doing a lot better than when you walked in, you deserve to be rewarded. All of these players are key parts of Arsenal's future. They've all had great seasons individually. They've all come a long way since when they were initially introduced in the first team. You know, Saka was amazing when he came through the academy, twice the player. Aaron Ramsdale's, you know, eclipsed Leno and gone from strength to strength. Odegaard has had a great season. He's got his 15 league goals. Martinelli's also signed a new deal, rewarded for that as well. Hopefully Saliba signs new deals. And you'd imagine after these names, Benjamin White also follows. Discussions are also planned with Odegaard, and the midfielder is in line for a contract that will reflect his status as one of the best players in the Premier League, people. Once again, Arsenal also in negotiations to tie down Saliba, which seems like it's taking a while, and it does make me a bit nervous. As we know, Odegaard's been outstanding this season. Him and Saka, I think, have been nominated for PFA Fans Player of the Year awards, potentially, people. And they obviously won an award in March as well in relation to, what is that? London Football Awards. Apparently, Odegaard is dangerous. He has 2 years left on his current contract, and while there is an option to extend that by a further year until 2026, Arsenal want to secure his long-term future. Obviously, we'll get onto it, but you see, Xhaka, we did hear rumors. We have an option to extend his deal, and we were in talks to give him a new deal. Reports came out yesterday that was in fact wasn't the case. So we have made the decisions that need to have been made. Allegedly, Odegaard feels at home and wants to lead another title charge next season. As we know, Gabriel, the centre half, has also signed a new deal, and I hope Martinelli, Odegaard get double figures again, like with Saka. I hope Gabriel Jesus is in line to do that. So it is what it is. This article's gone on to say Arsenal are ready to back Arteta and have identified West Ham captain Declan Rice as their number one target. They're also targeting another midfielder, a defender, and a forward player. So does that mean two midfielders, a defender, and a forward? What about fullback? Because at right back, we're quite weak if Benjamin White's not there. Yes, we've got Tomiyasu. Unfortunately, you can't bet on his fitness. If Tierney completes an expected move to Newcastle, we're going to need another left back, really. And if we don't take heed of these lessons, I hope there's no injury crisis or no injuries, but it's part and parcel of the game. Allegedly, Xhaka is in talks over a £13 million move to Bayer Leverkusen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well, people, and check out the other vids. Apparently, Granit Xhaka's agent was at London Coley Arsenal's training ground last week for talks with Director of Football Operations Richard Garlick and Sporting Director Edu. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on. Xhaka has enjoyed his best season since joining Arsenal in 2016, but Arteta wants to revamp his midfield and is also interested in Brighton's Caicedo. Left-back Tierney has been limited to a bit part role this season and is wanted by Newcastle, while Balogun is attracting interest from clubs around Europe after scoring 19 Ligue 1 goals on loan at Reims. I think he's got 20 in all comps. He's now committed his future to playing for America. You know, dramatically, not that he wasn't a good player, but you consider where he was 12 months ago, dramatically better player, and that's what it's all about. We're also due to hold talks with Smith Rowe about his future at the end of the season. He has had an injury. He has undergone surgery. He has been fit for a while now, not really played. You know, again, it's not what you've done in the past, it's what you're doing now. But, you know, I don't really agree with just writing the guy off after the great season he had last season, really. If nothing more, he could be a squad player. If he does want to leave, if Arteta deems that he's not part of the plans, fair enough. With Xhaka leaving, you know, Smith Rowe could probably groom himself to be an option in the 8 role, as well as obviously being a 10 and a left wing option, really. He now needs to fight for his spot. You know, that was had you have been fit in August, I don't know if we would have seen this Martinelli this season, but Martinelli was kind of in the same realm last year of not getting football. He took his chances. Go and take your spot back. If we've got, you know, an 18 to 20 man squad fighting for 11 places, you know, only 11 players can start a match, only X amount can be on the bench. And with probably Reece Nelson going, I think we need to keep Smith Rowe. We need to keep some attackers, really. So we probably will have talks. But again, I don't think it's nothing personal. It's just business. You've been injured. We've been getting on with things and we've been winning games. So you're not one of the best options. Once again, Bayern Leverkusen are in talks to sign Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka, sources have told ESPN. He does have a year remaining on his contract and does have the option of extending it by a further year. Sources say the club are yet to trigger the clause. So that if the club is committing other people to new deals, and Xhaka, who's been a main player, one of the best players this season, one of the first names on the team sheet, that tells you everything. And the article's gone on to say that has created uncertainty in the midfielder's mind over his future, and Leverkusen have looked to capitalize by approaching the Gunners with an offer believed to be in the region of 15 million euros. I mean, if this helps us potentially get Moussa Diaby, then fair enough. A deal is not yet finalized, but Xhaka is ready to leave if Arsenal are not willing to offer him a new longer-term contract. I mean, if you've got 2 years to run, Leverkusen are offering you a more important role in the squad. If we do sign a midfielder, they're offering you allegedly a 4-year deal. You've obviously lived and played in the Bundesliga and lived in Germany, and allegedly your wife and family are yearning to return there. Fair enough. From a lifestyle point of view, Xhaka, do your thing. The Gunners are looking to overhaul their midfield this summer and have targeted West Ham's Declan Rice, although the England international is likely to cost 100 million or more. We have seen apparently that it will cost 80 million up front and potential add-ons, people. So we'll have to see in relation to that. Santiago Ohona apparently has said Xhaka had a very long talk with Xabi Alonso yesterday. He listened to the project of the Spanish coach. Discussions between the parties are well advanced. Arsenal are also looking to be active this summer. The Gunners are chasing a right back, a centre back, a centre defensive mid, a winger and a striker. So for all of Tierney's links to Newcastle, and I wouldn't rule it out, if we're not targeting a left back, has that been told that despite the noise, Tierney, you're not going nowhere? I hope that's the case. But we'll have to see. Once again, Arsenal are going to be active in such market. Sambi Lokonga has been linked with linking back up with Company and going to Burnley. It's unclear whether he's going to go on loan or permanently. Company, I know he obviously is friends with Arteta, but he was at the Emirates to watch our 3-0 defeat against Brighton. Maybe that was a talk for in that, a chance for not only to catch up with Mikel Arteta, but to get these transfer things over underway. I mean, Company described him as the next Yaya Toure and said he reminded him of Yaya Toure. Who better to go and show something? Lokonga's got still got a few years on his deal, got Euros to think about with Belgium. Go and play under someone who really rates your talent and show us at Burnley what you're about, especially as Burnley are revamping what they've historically been known as in terms of their style of play. Company, they got over 100 points and they're going to be fighting for survival. Go and show that you can do that at 23 years of age. He's made 9 appearances on loan at Crystal Palace, hardly pulled up any trees since joining in January, people. I mean, if they'll give us back our 17-odd million, why not? Company did say once upon a time, when I was still a player for City, I was coming to the point where I was thinking about my future, management, carry on, sign a new deal. I was watching football from different countries, different places, and I saw Sambi play his first game, his first 2 games. Then he got an injury to his knee. But the first thing I did when I saw Sambi is I went to Mikel and said, you've got to watch this guy. He's the new Yaya Toure. So go and show us he's the new Yaya Toure. And again, there are suggestions Arsenal could offload up to 10 players, including Lokonga. And I mean, I feel a bit uneasy. I don't think it's like FIFA. I think that would kind of harm us, really. Now, even though I'm happy at the potential midfielders we can get in the place of Granit Xhaka, you're losing a very experienced man. And in terms of the skill set and that 8 role, hopefully Arteta's got a plan, whether that's Caicedo, Declan Rice, or any others. But Caicedo. But if you look at it, Caicedo, neither Rice, they're not kind of going to bring what Xhaka brings definitely this season in terms of goals. Immediately, they might be able, more so Rice, be able to play there, but he's not going to bring that. And obviously, Caicedo and Declan Rice are experienced, but in many ways, if you talk about the Champions League, neither players played in it, so they're quite inexperienced, really. So, I mean, they both got great leadership qualities. Obviously, Caicedo, despite his young age, has played for his country, played a few times in the Premier League, obviously represented his country at a World Cup. The same goes for Declan Rice at a Euros and a World Cup, as well as experience in Conference League football. So there is some experiences, but we'll have to see what is exactly being said, people. Allegedly, Declan Rice has always been a top target and he remains the priority. There have been conversations between Arsenal and Rice. Well, Mikel Arteta and Edu were already discussing him internally back in January. Arsenal now plan to prepare an official bid for the West Ham star in the next few weeks, but this won't be easy because the Hammers are focusing on the Europa Conference League, rightly so. It's not imminent because West Ham don't want to negotiate until June, but it's been clear since last summer that Rice would not sign a new deal with his current club. Arsenal will be there. It's their priority. they want to try to bid for him soon. And you have seen some reports we want him in early for pre-season. You saw the benefits that had probably for Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, even players like Fabio Vieira who were injured, but in terms of, you know, getting comfortable at the club, getting to know your new work colleagues, etc., etc. Apparently, one of the key sticking points with any potential deal for Rice will be the potential transfer fee. He's under contract until 2024 with the option of another year. West Ham want top money, whether that's because of the English tax, whether that's because of the fee we've heard that Jude Bellingham's going to go for, the fees you've seen Maguire go for, Enzo Fernandez, Benjamin White off the back of one Premier League season went for 50 million. So we're going to have to see exactly how this develops. Now, I don't know what to make of this rumor, but Dean Jones has said that Arsenal once again have been linked with João Cancelo. And let me know what you lot think of this, people. Allegedly. As we know, his future, you can't rule out him staying at Man City, but it looks like his days are numbered. Bayern Munich are not keeping him permanently. I think when we first did the Cancelo story a little while back, it was loose at that point. It was just being tentatively put out there that he could become an option for Arsenal. So does that mean we was talking nonsense? And now there's some legit interest? Because as we know, Arsenal need a fullback or someone that can play that inverted role. We've bought players from City before. Cancelo's future is undecided. Did they add all of these together and draw to conclusions with creative journalism? That tells me we was talking nonsense. Now we think there's a level of interest. There probably is a level of interest from Arsenal, but in terms of maybe concerns about his attitude, which I can't verify, the wages and the length of contract, despite him being a good player, it probably means we're moving away from that really and truly. Since then, there's been some momentum gathered over this rumor. I think it makes a lot more sense stylistically and also fits the bill of where Arsenal need to take the next step in the development of the first team. I mean, Cancelo, for a bunch of reasons, for me, would be welcome at Arsenal, but that just tells me that it's a bit of clickbait, creative journalism sort of stuff there, people. Robin Lenormand, who plays for Sociedad like Zubamendi, is a player that Arsenal really like and heading into the summer transfer window, according to Chris Wheatley. Specifically, the journalist has said centre-back as well. We know that they like the look of Robin Lenormand, the Real Sociedad centre-back. He's not the only Sociedad player they like. Zubamendi is one they like as well. He's also wanted by Man United and Barcelona, allegedly. Lenormand is certainly a player they'll do line, and Zubamendi as well, certainly one to look out for this summer. We'll have to see exactly. But in the January, we was pointed to his £50 million release clause or 50-odd million pound release clause, same way with Zubamendi. So make of that what you will. Sadio Mane and Cancelo are expected to leave Bayern Munich during the transfer window as Tommy Tuchel rebuilds squad. So that further will fuel the rumours. 3 major clubs plot William Saliba raid as Arsenal plan new contract talks. The 22-year-old's doing quite well and has been doing quite well this season and off the back of what he did at Marseille. Obviously, clubs are going to be monitoring, one of our best players. And obviously, if there's any cold feet in relation to potentially signing a new deal, they're going to be able to move. The only thing you can say about Saliba's season is, unfortunately, it's been cut short and he's not been able to play in part of the tail end of the season, people. I don't think it said the 3 clubs, but according to our RMC, Europe's elite are circling and asking about the possibility of Arsenal cashing in rather than risking losing one of their prized assets for nothing in 12 months' time. I mean, I think Arsenal have done all they can to convince Saliba. He's playing all the time. He's developing a great relationship with Gabriel. It's crystal clear. If it was what we've seen historically with Saliba, that 1 minute you're on loan, you're at the club, you're not, then I could understand. I think Arsenal have done all they can to convince him to stay. He's played a key part. We fought for the Premier League. Hopefully we can go one better next season and bring a trophy home. I think we've done all we can to get the man to sign, really and truly. Arsenal are intending on holding a fresh round of talks with Saliba intent on getting him to renew his commitment to the club. So we'll have to see exactly what's been said. Obviously, this is said that Arteta is targeting an overhaul in midfield and he wants to add more physical presence and dynamism to his midfield. We're set to make an offer for West Ham's captain Declan Rice. We've also set our sights on Caicedo, and allegedly Arteta has been given the green light to pursue Caicedo, who we bidded for twice in January. So we're going to have to monitor that one very closely, people. And we've also got an interest in Mason Mount. Check out the other videos. Fabrizio Romano has said Arsenal want to prepare an official bid in the next few weeks. This is not something imminent because West Ham's intention is not to negotiate right now. They want to focus on the Europa Conference League. They want to focus on the final games of the season, and then in June discuss about Rice's future. Arsenal will be there. Arsenal will attack the situation of Declan Rice, and it's now a priority for them. Arsenal know they will not be alone on Rice because of Chelsea's interest, because of other English clubs, including Man United, keeping an eye on the situation. Arsenal want to push on with this one, and the exit of Granit Xhaka could also be a message. They'll do something important in midfield. We need to do something important, people. He's also drawn interest from Bayern Munich. The way Bayern Munich maneuver, I can't see them spending the fee that, West Ham are going to want for Declan Rice. They stick very true to their principles, really and truly. I don't know how credible this lad is, but apparently Rob Holding is generating interest from Sheffield United and Leeds over a potential summer transfer. Arsenal are willing to sanction a sale this summer for Holding, with the club looking to demand 10 million. Initial contact has been made from both clubs. So, I mean, that's an £8 million profit. Probably not exactly, because you'd imagine there's a sell-on clause for Bolton. And, and to be honest, whether you like Holding or not, we've got what we paid for in 2 million. You think of Rob Holding, you think of the FA Cup. There has been times he stepped in and done very well. I don't think he's really ever been good enough. I don't think he's really developed. But one does wonder, had he have not got that injury at Old Trafford in that unfortunate collision with Marcus Rashford, where would he be? Because it looked like he was coming into his own. As this comment says, I think a team that is less demanding on playing out from the back, a team that's more likely to have to do defending for the bulk of the game, a team that plays a lower block, I think he'll thrive. I just think you've not really developed to the standard you can. It is what it is. You're just not good enough for as a player that for where we want to go. You can be a voice in the change rooms. You can be one of them guys, as we keep hearing. Great. I don't think he's actually been as bad as people have made out when he stepped in or when we found out about Saliba's injury. But ultimately, these sort of players, they're going to disrupt the system. And one does wonder, had Kyrgios been thrown in a lot sooner, where would we be as a football club? Even though Kyrgios has his own problems. While I think Kyrgios makes us a lot more comfortable than Rob Holding, one thing I would say to Rob Holding is I don't think that mistake against Sporting Lisbon, that mix-up with Matt Turner happens. And I don't think Rob Holding is going to be crying that he lost his boot against Brighton. Big fan of Kyrgios, but play to the whistle, lad. So, yeah, smash the like button, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Do you think it's the right decision to sell Xhaka? What do you make of Caicedo and Declan Rice? Do you think we'll get one, none, or both? What do you make of Zubamendi and Lenormand? What do you make of potentially Martin Odegaard and Ramsdale's new deals? Just tell me what you think, man. Comment, subscribe, check out the rest of the vids. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you lot soon.
There's always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like